30 love.
A year ago in the 1988 U.S. Open semifinal, this is what took place. Agassi won the first set, and then Lendl the next three. 30 love.
I remember in that match, or after that match, Agassi said, once Lendl broke my serve in the second set, it was too tough to catch. And we were thinking, geez, Agassi won the first set, and so you lose it, get down an early break in the second. That doesn't mean you're out of the match. But he sort of felt that way. He is young. He's only 19, still learning.
Learned a lot already.
He's also earned a lot, over $1.2 million in just career earnings on the courts.
Game. Lendl.
Game to Lendl. That makes it 5-3. Agassi in the first. Fifth ace for
Agassi
Ivan.
leads 5-3.
Makes it look easy. Good extension. Leaning into the court. See how both feet finish inside that baseline. That's something that Aaron Krickstein could work on. He sort of keeps that back leg back a lot of the time. So now it's crunch time. Agassi can hold. He wins the first set here and gets off to a good lead.
And if Lendl can break, they're back on
Love
serve.
15.
And he will not concede a set when he's just a breakdown.
Well, of course not. Plus, he knows he's in great shape. He can last. Wow. That's one of his favorite shots. On the run, on the forehand side, he gets around the outside of the ball and brings it back in. Watch the racket preparation. Well, that is something. Love 30, and Lendl gets to look at a second serve.
Love 40.
Just like that. Love 40.
Tony Roach.
Tony Roach, yeah.
What a great player he was. Some elbow problems short-circuited his career. Marvelous doubles player.
And like Billie Jean King is with Martina, he deflects so much of
40.
the attention off himself. When he speaks about helping Ivan, he says, the truth is he was ready to make an assault on the #1 position when we met. Says he has improved his game, but he probably would have had the same results whether or not I coached him. I don't believe
30,
that, but
40.
boy, so few coaches in this game are that humble. So many of them go the other way.
Still a break point. 30-40. It's out.
Game. Lendl.
Called wide.
Ball change. Agassi leads 5-4.
5-4 now, Agassi. Season ticket holder watching the action on the outer courts, what there is of it.
Watching junior tennis outside. He likes to watch the kids play.
Tough to get in this place.
Here are some big guys playing in the stadium.
Lendl serving, trying to get even.
He got back on serve, and he feels a lot better.
$15 left. 30 love.
First serves obviously more productive than the second for Ivan Lendl. That would be the case with most players.
Yeah, but it's especially true against a power returner like Agassi, who now is inside the court. That woke these people up.
Yep.
I think
30,
Agassi is
15.
surprised when he comes in and makes this smash. I don't think he thinks there's any way this is coming back. He was ready. To his credit, he kept those hands out in front. They made a very, very solid volley.
30-15.
We were talking about Becker earlier, how he gets that first serve in when he's under pressure. This guy does it very well, too.
Well, it sure does. Always has.
Lendl. 5-all.
It is 5-all.
Now, I don't get the feeling that Andre has any particular game plan. It's just sort of wail on it. Now, I may be wrong, but I don't see a consistent effort to do one thing, just sort of hitting it hard. And I don't know that that's good enough to beat Lendl.
Lendl loves to hit against pace as well.
And he glides around the court so well. He gets there comfortably, not overplaying a lot of shots.
15-all.
4 aces for Andre Agassi.
All of a sudden, Andre making some unforced errors. Been out there almost 1 hour.
First serve percentage identical. 47% for both of them. 30-all. 5 aces.
40-30.
This This is the ace by Agassi on from the net cam. The camera, the small camera, down at the base of the net and the center line. And it was, as you could see, right on the line. Another good serve. Number 6.
Advantage, Agassi.
Both players winning just about the same on first and second serves. 75% on the first serves and 47.3% on their second serves.
Agassi, another one. Agassi leads 6-5. At Summerall with Tony Trabert and Mary Carrillo. Andre Agassi leading 6-5 in the first set. Lendl serving, trying to get even and force a tiebreak. And the winner of this
15 love.
match gets Boris Becker in the finals tomorrow.
That's no picnic.
Nope. If Lendl makes it, he would tie Bill Tilden's record.
Agassi's back to going all the way beyond the baseline to accept second serve.
He had some success with that early, then quit doing it.
Fifteen all.
This match, this set, a little bit over an hour old now. Hour and 4 minutes.
Thirty, 15. Forty, 15. Game, Lendl.
Game to Lendl. The time for a tiebreak.
6 all. Tiebreaker.
Men's quarterfinal on, there was only one tiebreak set played, and that was Noah in his third set against Mancini. Actually, that was in the 16s.
Agassi.
Some heavy pounding on the ground strokes. Lendl pulled fairly wide to his right, lingers in the forehand corner, and Agassi beats him down the line. We'll see what Agassi thinks of it. In the tie break, the first player to reach 7 with at least a 2-point advantage will be the winner.
But Lendl now gets 2 serves. Serves first to the ad court.
Nice gaudy tiebreak record in the Open. And against Lendl, who can chase down just about anything and return aggressively, you've got to be almost have to be a player like Agassi who's a potential shot maker. He dazzled in the first point of the tiebreaker by going for a winner, and I almost feel like he's got to do that because he's betting against the house if he's going to try to trade ground strokes with Lendl.
You're not really going to outsteady him, are you?
No way. You've got to go for your shots if you play the way Agassi's playing.
Ace number 6.
2-1. Lendl.
Ivan's parents.
His mom coached him for a while. She was a fine player in her own right in Czechoslovakia, but they just didn't get along at all, Lendl says. He thought she was too tough on him. She disagreed with what he believed should happen. And that was that.
Kids have a tendency.
Yuri Lendl, a lawyer, he played some ball too, but it was Olga who really got Lendl going at a very young age. She used to tether him to the net post while she played.
To say kids have a tendency not necessarily to like what their parents are telling them.
Yeah, I've noticed that myself.
Lendl.
Another huge ace by Agassi, and again, this is the ingredient that he didn't have a year ago against Lendl.
Yeah, we
the
didn't put
capacity
down
to hit that big first serve, the flat one.
We didn't put down as an ace because he got a touch on it. But good serving.
3-2. Agassi.
3-2 Agassi. Tie break in the first set.
Lendl even hears from his parents at Wimbledon, and they're trying to tell him how they think he should be playing. He takes the phone away from his ear and sometimes walks away from him and says, "Here, talk to Tony." And of course, Tony doesn't speak Czech. They don't speak English. Lendl says, how do they know? How do they know how to play on grass? They've never played on it. So Tony very obligingly listens to him chatter away. And then he sort of interrupts him and says, it's me on the line. I think he's doing all right.
So after 6 points, the players change ends.
Still in the first set. 3-3 in the tiebreak.
Hour and 11 minutes. That's 7 aces for Lendl.
4-3. Lendl.
They've all held serve to this point. See where Agassi is, and he still couldn't get his racket on the ball. That's breaking it nice and wide. Even if he gets it back, he's so far out of position he can't do anything.
Second serve.
That's the first mini break.
Lendl.
This is that last point. Lendl's flies long. Now Ivan has a chance to serve out this first set tiebreak because he's leading 5-4 and has 2 serves. If he wins these 2 points, the first set is his. I guess my advice to any player in a tiebreak would be to don't do anything flaky. Play the good percentage stuff.
That's what he usually does. There's that big serve on big point.
6-4. Lendl.
6 aces for Lendl.
Actually, that's 7 now.
7.
And he has 2 set points. Andre standing inside the baseline to return this time instead of way back.
Game. First set. Lendl
Takes the first set in a tiebreak. We'll be back at the U.S. Open after this word from your local station.
Just concentration, so we better send it back to the people who are important.
Thank you, Rob. Back to you, Pat.
Oh, thank you.
Rob Reiner and his buddy Billy Crystal, incredible sports fans. They really know their tennis.
That went over.
15 love.
There is the NBA Commissioner David Stern, who's done such an outstanding job.
There was a football commissioner around here too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pete was here. Pete Rozelle.
Who doesn't want to be a football commissioner, but nobody can replace him.
Can't fill his shoes.
No.
Saw him yesterday at the hotel. Had a nice little chat.
30 love.
Ace number 8.
$53-1 at the U.S. Open when he wins the first set. That's scary.
Ominous.
40 love.
He is 1-2 is Andre Agassi when he loses the first set at the U.S. Open.
He hasn't played it too many times. Matter of fact, before he got to the semis last year, the year before that, 87, he'd lost in the first round.
Game. Lendl.
Game to
First
Lendl
game.
very
Second
quickly.
set.
Agassi has won the first point of the second game of the second set.
He won it at the net as well. I think that's smart. I think he's got to shorten these points because Lendl's good enough, strong enough to chase down so many of his shots. Like that.
Oh, he's made a couple of those in this match. The secret is to
15
have that
all.
racket ready when you arrive at the ball. If you don't prepare as you go, there's no way you can make that shot. It's the kind they write about in the textbook.
Yeah, it helps to arrive at the ball, too.
That do help.
15-30.
That's why we don't make many of those.
That's right.
Well, that's some good stuff by Lendl.
15-40.
2 break points.
He's really perked up these last couple of games just when he needed to. And what he can do, having won that tie break and with the break point here, he could effectively take 2 sets in about 10 minutes.
And also demoralize the opponent.
That's what I'm saying. He could win 2 sets here just in a matter of 10 concentrated minutes.
30, 40.
This last shot's a little questionable in my mind. Trying to a heavily underspun drop shot. Watch the rack as he's trying to cut right underneath it. Have it barely carry the net and back up. I have seen him make that shot.
That one was definitely a double hit, though.
Yeah, almost a triple hit. Still break point. That's too good.
Too low.
He leads 2-love now.
Lendl will take advantage of the opening right here. Agassi stayed to the left of the center line, so the cross court was open. A little topspin forehand paid off. I'll tell you what, asking the umpire to overrule on the far sideline is asking a whole lot.
There's no way he can do it.
Let's see what happens here. Andre thinks his shot was good. It was close.
It did look pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
Looked great.
30 love.
Earlier today, Steffi Graf, 3 sets, won the women's final, and Boris Becker before that in straight sets over Aaron Krickstein. He'll play the winner of this match.
Terrific tournament for Krickstein. Get to the semis.
He didn't play badly at all against Becker.
And good experience. You know, he's 22 years old.
Oh, that was out. I really thought Lendl forehand was way off the court. I think that missed.
He's mumbling now. Yeah, the rule book says they don't overrule unless there's a clear mistake, so it's got to be fairly obvious.
Lead.
Lendl leads 3-love.
From ancient times, astronomers have defined.
Now that. That was an original statistic.
Plain truth.
30, 15.
I think some of our friends have been in the truck too long. And I'm starting to get to know this chair pretty well.
I don't know. It really doesn't seem as though we'll be here much longer, though. Lendl has taken such firm control of this semifinal match.
Lendl got off to a
30
rather
all.
shaky start, Tony, but things have started to roll in his direction now.
From 1-4 down, he's played beautifully, and he's gotten it all together. He's such a solid guy. He's got the good shots. He runs well. He's tough mentally, and he's in control at this point.
Lendl plays the game with such scientific insistence. He trains so hard off the court, so terribly hard off the court and on, as a matter of fact. And he even does mental aerobics to toughen his mind.
Break point here for Lendl. Would take him to a 4-love lead and 2 breaks.
He barks at the plane there. A couple of years ago, he thought he needed to improve his focus and concentration and met a psychologist, Alexis Castori, who told her that he should try doing witnessing exercises.
Witnessing exercise. What is that?
Well, Agassi did everything he could do, and it wasn't quite enough.
Advantage, Lendl.
This is the kind of play that Lendl would witness in his mind, taking charge of the point, getting to the net, finishing it early. And what he does exercises in his head, taking a small object or something and just trying to describe it out loud for 5 minutes, something small, you know, a bottle or a pen or something, describing every little thing about it. Just observing, so that when you're on the court and things are getting rough, you can take yourself away from the action and observe what's happening and very calmly say, well, I'm choking now, but I can get out of it. Or, my feet are moving slowly, but now I can change it.
Agassi.
You mean all that's going on in his head now?
Well, no, on the court, he doesn't bother with that. On the court, by going to his rituals, straightening the strings on his racket, going to his sawdust, taking his time. In that way, he's learning, he's trying to focus and concentrate. All these little ticks he's got, all the moves he makes, is in an effort to focus and concentrate.
In the meantime, Agassi's got the advantage while he's doing all that.
Game to
Lendl
Agassi.
leads 3-1.
Lendl still leads 3-1 in the second set. It begins with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern Time.
That's a new one. Yep. When you're confident,
15 left.
it all works.
I haven't seen that one.
Watch this. You go across the back of the ball, right to left, so that ball, when it lands, goes sideways out towards the doubles alley. I wonder if Rochi taught him that one.
I don't think anyone's going to take credit for that.
No.
You ask him about it.
30 love.
Boy, Lendl's hitting the ball well now. Off the ground, big serving. Has 11 aces.
30-15.
Told you he's hitting it well.
That's all you had to do is say it.
But now, because of all this mental training he's done, for instance, he's trained himself to allow the negativity he feels to pass by judging the situation. Instead of judging the situation, just observing it. It's remarkable when you think about that. No wonder this guy wins so much. He's got everything covered.
Remarkable, all right.
Good heavy stuff there by Agassi.
30 all.
This is how well he has to play just to win points. There's good disguise. There's no way Lendl can tell in advance where he's going with this one right here. That gets him to 30 all. Lendl dictating the speed of the match. Takes plenty of time when he wants to. Now Agassi back away again. He's well behind the baseline. It's out.
And Lendl moves out to a 4-1 lead in the second set.
Lendl leads.
Ivan Lendl leading 4-1.
Thank you.
Second set, he won the first in a tiebreak.
Very workmanlike job by Lendl. Again, trailed 1-4 in the first set, and he worked his way back into that set, won the tiebreak 7 points to 4, and now he has Agassi serving at 1-4 in the second, and he just wants to keep the steamroller going.
I really think Agassi needed this match too. A lot of people thought that in the last round when he beat Connors in 5 sets and had his first 5-set ever win in his career, it was some kind of rite of passage for him. I really disagree with that. I think he should have a year ago he beat Connors in straight sets, and I think he was playing well enough to do that the other day. It's this match he needed.
Love 30.
Getting in more trouble here at love 30. You know, when I watch Agassi play, the frustrating part is how many points he seems to give away. He just tries so many low percentage things. Some shots like this make him want to try bigger and greater ones. He's inside the baseline there. Had Lendl on defensive. Good time to go for it.
He has got flair,
30
hasn't he? Really, just in terms of his shot-making ability, his strokes, he does things to the ball that so few people can. He's still got to learn how to win. He is young. You can only hope that that will come in time.
30 all. Lendl has a break point now.
Give him 2 breaks and take him to 5-1 lead, serve him for the second set if he can get this one.
Game. Lendl.
5-1. The harder Agassi
Lendl
hits it,
leads.
it comes back harder.
And Lendl's so good at using the speed that Agassi gives him. And it's impressive how
Please.
gracefully and how easily Lendl gets to most of those balls.
Thank you.
He's deceptively fast.
Quiet, please.
I imagine those lights will be on in a few minutes.
Fifteen love.
Number 12.
Love.
13 and counting. 3 set points now for Lendl.
Game. Second set.
What a strong
Lendl.
service game
6-1.
for Lendl, who wins
New
the
balls.
second set, 6-1. Yeah.
There's a guy that keeps track of everything.
He leads 2 sets to love. When he has
Quiet,
won the
please.
first 2 sets here at the U.S. Open, he has never lost. They have just begun to turn on the lights atop the stadium, and Lendl is about to turn out the lights on the stadium court.
Correction. The ball was good. Replay point.
Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, a reminder that the winner of this match will play Boris Becker in the men's final. 4 o'clock. After the NFL. CBS.
Boy, the last time Ivan Lendl and Boris Becker played in New York at the Masters last year, that was one of the great 5-setters I've ever seen. Becker finally won it. Last point. 33 rally point that hit the net and went over. Amazing stuff.
Oh! 15 love.
That was a tough way to lose a major title.
Oh, man. But it was a big deal for Becker. Then he followed that up by helping Germany win Davis Cup over Sweden. And those 2 teams are in the finals again this year.
30 love.
Matter of fact, the 2 best matches I've seen Andre Agassi play this year. One was against Becker, Davis Cup, 5-setter. that Agassi lost. And the other was the
40 love.
Canadian Open, where Agassi played Lendl, 3-setter. And again, unfortunately, Agassi lost. He's got to win one of those big matches. He's got to come through.
Game. Agassi.
Game to Agassi. He
First
wins
game.
the first game
Third
of the
set.
third set. Back at the stadium court, the National Tennis Center.
First set.
Lendl serving at love 1 in the third set. He's up 2-0.
He's got a vice-like grip on Agassi. He doesn't want to let it go, so he's got to be careful. Doesn't let his serve slip away here. Give Andre the feeling to get back in the match.
Done, and Agassi came out of the blocks looking so much more alert,
Love
so
15.
much keener off that last changeover. So this could be a very big game for Andre. He said about his year that he had lost the ability to dig deep and he was trying to get it back. Let's see if he comes up with it. Mental stamina is what's made the greatest so great. Jimmy Connors, Chris Evert. She was no flash in the pan.
Love 30.
And this man will leave behind a legacy of mental stamina as well.
Yeah, they used to call him a choker, a quitter.
That's right.
Got to the finals here 3 years in a row and lost.
He turned from a choker to a champion.
Yep.
1984
15,
French Open
30.
final against John McEnroe. He'd never won anything of import. McEnroe was way up, 2 sets and a break. Lendl won that one, and it changed his life, changed his career, surely. Never looked back. And he was one of only 3 men to beat John McEnroe in 1984. McEnroe's most glorious year. You know who the other 2 were?
Nope.
Big chance for Agassi, and the fans are trying to get him back in this match. He lost 3 times, John McEnroe. One was to Lendl in Paris. One was to Vijay Armitage, first round of Cincinnati. And one was to Henrik Sundström, Davis Cup final, Sweden. And that was that.
Right here, 2 break points for Agassi.
He tried another lob.
30, 40.
I think that's what that was. Badly shanked. He framed that ball badly.
Here's
Really?
another look.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a
Yeah,
lob.
probably. Either that or the hard roll, the extra spin to dip it real quickly. Still a break point for Agassi.
Deuce.
Is that solid enough?
It ain't art, but it ain't bad, is it? Andre's brother Phil sitting next to Nick Bollettieri, Andre's coach from the time he was 13.
From 1540 down, he now has the advantage.
Deuce.
Agassi made his own call on this one, and it was well out.
Deuce.
One of Agassi's big things last year was his interaction with the crowd. He said it's tougher to do it here because the crowd's so far away. That's age number 15. And I think that did help him because he could relax and he could sort of have some fun. And this area is not conducive to that.
And it's 7-6-6-1. He can't be having too much fun anyway.
Yeah.
Good.
1-all.
Game to Lendl. 1-all. Third set. Nebraska rolled over Northern Illinois. Oklahoma beat Baylor.
Thank you.
Virginia over Penn State. Syracuse beat up on Temple. Pirates beat the Mets 8-5. Cardinals leading the Cubs 2-1 in the 8th.
Love 15.
And Oakland shut out the Yankees to stop their winning streak.
Was it 8 or 9?
9.
Yeah. Amazing how smart the manager gets when the team starts hitting.
He gets a contract.
Yeah, he got another year, didn't he?
Yeah.
All.
Steffi Graf won the women's final earlier this afternoon over Martina Navratilova. And before that, Boris Becker got into the finals, the men's final, by beating Aaron Krickstein. And that final will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock here on CBS after the NFL.
Second seed Becker attempting to become the first West German to capture the U.S. Open title. Way back in 1937, Gottfried von Kram got to the final but lost to Don Budge 5 sets. Unless Ivan Lendl loses to Andre Agassi, Becker, 21 years old, is the youngest male player to ever reach the U.S. Open final. since McEnroe did it in '80,
Yeah.
which says something.
Agassi.
Game for
Teenagers win the
Agassi.
French and Wimbledon.
Agassi.
Sunset to the New York Harbor. Statue of Liberty, of course. Ivan Lendl
15 love.
has a 2-set lead over Andre Agassi. Agassi leads in this set 2-1.
That's Lendl's 16th ace. Pretty good effort.
Great effort from 13-year-old
Who?
Jennifer Capriati. She won Joanne Fall, who's one of the brightest young prospects in all of Australia, and years older than Capriati. Next great American hope on the women's side.
Such a nice young gal.
But going back to the guys, it just shows you, we watched a 17-year-old Michael Chang win the French Open, and Boris Becker at 17 won Wimbledon. But you got to be seems you got to be a little more grown up to win at the Open. All these distractions, this crazy stadium that goes on and on forever, 2 weeks on hard courts in New York City. That's a tough room right there to work if you're a little kid. I think Lendl's trying to drive that point home to his opponent tonight.
It's 30-15.
It's 3 points won on Lendl's serve in the second set.
Being pretty stingy. He really is serving big time. Not only with the aces, but just the length, the quality of the serves. Awful lot of action on it. Fine depth, direction. It's got all kinds of pace on it, too.
Game. Lendl. 2-all.
2-2.
He wants a break. You don't want to be going on 3-3, 4-4 kind of thing, and then all of a sudden Agassi can get hot, hit a couple winners, and get you in trouble. That's nicely done.
30 love.
Good preparation here by Agassi. Takes his chance. Ooh. I said, ooh, no one can get to that one when it hit that hard and that close to the sideline.
40 love.
Third double. Agassi's served 8 aces and 3 double faults. Lendl 17 aces and 3 double faults.
40-15 now. He leads 3-2 in the third set. and Washington beat Texas A&M. Colorado, by the way, plays Illinois next week here on CBS.
Love 15.
All of a sudden, Lendl making a few unforced errors.
He sure is. He's letting Agassi back into this third set. And Agassi would do well to take advantage right here.
Love 30.
Good running catch by the center fielder. This guy's just tough. He can hit it in any direction. Though he's ahead 2 sets and on serve at 2-3, he doesn't want to get careless. 15-30. Number 18.
30.
Few folks have departed.
Yeah. Lendl holds. It's 3-all. Third set. The Fuji blimp looking down. Piloted today by Mary Sink.
Keep
from
your
Roanoke,
seats,
Virginia.
please.
Looking
It's
at
not a-
Manhattan.
It's not a great name if you're a blimp pilot.
No, or a swimmer.
Or a plumber.
Love 15.
Mary, have you ever tried to hit a ball two-handed?
Yeah.
Do you get any pace on it at all?
I didn't grow up with the right kind of two-handed grips. When I do it, it's so forced, so contrived.
Yeah.
I have trouble even now. I grew up with wooden rackets. I have trouble trying to hit power grips, you know, with power grips.
Shot.
15 all.
See, in my wildest dreams, I wouldn't know how to generate that kind of pace. I don't have
I don't
a
have
big racket grip, big racket attitude, you know?
Yeah.
$30-15.
What about you?
I try to demonstrate it when I do clinics with people, and I couldn't crush an egg two-handed.
Talk about big rackets. You know, if you play, I mean, Andre Agassi grew up on the big racket. And if you're a big racket player, and look at Michael Chang, it means that your strengths tend to be, I mean, your return of serve, passing shots. It's a great topspin racket. People think big rackets means you have a bigger serve, but it's the return of serve that is most helped. The passing shots, you know, the defensive play. And Ivan Lendl, despite endless experimentation, still hasn't found a big racket he likes. He uses one of the smallest heads in the business.
Why
that
should he
frame
change?
He's got. Yeah, really. Well, he keeps trying. You know, he'd love a larger sweet spot if he could find one, but right now he's sticking with this.
Game. Agassi.
Game to Agassi. He leads 4-3 in the third. And Agassi. We are, by the way, about to run out of our allotted time, which is 7 o'clock Eastern time. But we will stay till the conclusion of the match.
Lendl has to be careful in this situation. He's starting to make some mistakes, and the last thing you want to do is give a guy that you've had down and out the feeling that he can get back into the match.
No flash photography, please. $15 all.
19 aces in 2.5 sets.
That's a lot.
Particularly against a guy that has good ground strokes.
Great return. That's what Agassi's known for.
Jumped up nice and high on Lendl.
15-30.
He let it get behind him a little bit. Little trouble brewing here. He's got to really be careful.
Quiet, please.
First serve percentage.
I thought Lendl was serving better than that.
I did too.
That's pretty common of Lendl to be around the 50 mark. That's about where he always is.
This is just what I was alluding to. If you want to see a great
15,
drop shot,
40.
this baby barely clears the net. It was a little higher than you would like it, but it landed so short, no one could have gotten there. Watch this.
Quiet, please.
Good for him.
Two break points for Agassi. Give him a 5-3 lead, and he'd be serving for the
Quiet,
third
please.
set.
That came so out of nowhere that Lendl looked at him as if to say, "Are you crazy?"
Well, that's the thing. That's with this guy, you know, Agassi. Now he might rip a forehand past you, and you're down your break.
Game Agassi.
Got his break. Agassi leads it 5-3.
5-3.
Only the second time Agassi's been able to break Ivan Lendl. Playing the crowd up a little bit, too.
Thank you.
I could just feel that coming, you know,
Yeah.
just lulled into just nothing in that third set for a while. Ace number 9. That's a lot of aces for Agassi. Another look at Agassi's service motion.
Quiet, please.
I wonder if he thought he was going to make that shot.
That's like us missing a 40-foot putt, a snake, you know, and then shaking our heads like we just can't understand how we couldn't make that. Another good first serve. And it's 2 set points for Agassi.
40-15. Quiet, please. Thank you.
Four double faults. We told you earlier that Lendl leads their head-to-head series 5-0, but
please.
4 of those 5 matches, Agassi won a set. He has a set point here.
Third set. Agassi. 6-3.
Agassi wins the third set 6-3.
Here's what Agassi thinks of it.
We'll be back at the U.S. Open in just a moment. Moon over the stadium at the National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadow, New York. Ivan Lendl will start serving, leading 2-1.
When we started, there was sun.
Yeah. I remember.
15.
I would be surprised if Lendl doesn't get off to a very quick start in this set.
If you happen to have joined us late, here's what happened earlier. Steffi Graf came from behind to beat Martina Navratilova. And Boris Becker will be in tomorrow's
40
men's final against the winner of this.
The first 2 sets of the Martina-Steffi final, those are about 2 of the best sets I've ever seen.
Remarkable.
First serve. Forty, 15. Game Lendl. First game, 4th set.
So Lendl wins first game, 4th set.
Quiet,
Ivan
please.
Lendl, Andre
Reminder,
Agassi.
No flash.
Lendl has won the first game of the 4th set.
Thank you.
I think he started coasting a little too soon.
Yeah, he certainly did. I just sort of feel it getting close. I mean, nothing was happening the start of the 3rd set. And Agassi's the kind of guy that hits a couple winners on you, and boy, all of a sudden he's got a service break.
Love tee. Off.
It's going to be tough to keep that up, though. Lendl likes his position. Now he knows that Agassi's still out there with him, and I think now he's really going to try to shut him down in the 4th.
See this being a quick set?
I would think so, again, only because Ivan is probably kicking himself that he lost that last one.
30.
But he's donating an awful lot of points to
Really
Agassi
is.
in this last half hour or so. And Andre has been alert enough to take advantage of it. He's also got some fans here pulling for him. That won't help that won't hurt his effort. Again, keep in mind, Agassi does not have the pressure on him. He can swing away. He can go for his shots.
Ivan Lendl, seated number 1. Here's the draw from the quarterfinals on. Lendl beat Mayotte. Agassi eliminated Connors. Becker beat Noah and then Krickstein. And Krickstein beat Berger, who had to default.
Game. Agassi. Ball change.
Lendl's walking over to change rackets. He changes the strings, he changes his rackets with each ball change so that the tension is exactly the same.
Their head-to-head record. That's the score. Lendl leads 5-0. Never lost a U.S. Open semifinal. And if he gets into the finals, he will tie Bill Tilden's record of consecutive years getting into the finals.
Quiet, please.
Tilden did it back in the 20s, so it gives you an idea how tough it is because no one's been able to do it since.
It's quite an accomplishment. We're 1-all in the fourth.
Lendl's gone to sleep a few times. He's a heavy hitter. Both these guys are, as you can tell, so you're going to get some unforced errors.
15 all.
15 all.
Fourth double against 20 aces.
All you've got to do is stop racing to the ball quite as quickly. You don't get there in time. You don't get to set up as well as you have been in the past. And because your footwork has gone slightly down, you start drawing errors.
15 all.
I just think Lendl did get a little sluggish looking out there.
I think his might have been a little complacent too.
Yeah.
If I got 2 sets and I'm home free now, I'm okay.
But again, against Agassi's pace, boy, if you don't get to the ball early enough, you're hitting it back defensively.
In this set, that first serve has really dramatically dropped down to 27%.
Third set wasn't too good either, 38.
Explains a
Agassi's
lot,
also
doesn't it?
dropped down. Tony Roach trying to act nonchalant.
All.
Break point now, so things are starting to tighten up.
Deuce.
Pretty good effort just to get to that ball, just to get it back over the net. Lendl by that point had an easy volley winner. pretty good pressure serving,
Yep.
isn't it?
Down the break point, got that big serve in. If he hadn't been able to do that, he could be down 2-1.
Didn't we see this about 40 hours ago with Boris Becker coming up with it when he needed to?
He's a good one at that.
Game to Lendl. We'll be back at the U.S. Open in just a moment. Back at the stadium at Summerall with Tony Trabert and Mary Carrillo. Lendl up 2-1 in set number 4.
That wasn't exactly being a slave to percentages, was it?
No.
Behind the baseline, he tries some goofy drop shot.
Love 30.
Second serves, he's winning just half the points.
It was a strange looking effort.
Yeah. Say, if this thing stays close in this fourth set, it'll be nervous time. Two break points now for Ivan Lendl, who really would like to stem this flow a little bit and get this service break and get ahead in this fourth set.
Especially if he's worrying about coming back on this court in less than 24 hours playing Boris Becker. You know, it's gonna be a tough one. I wonder if that's what he was thinking about
Lendl.
when he really went off in that third
3-1.
set.
Fifth double fault, and it's a service break.
Don't forget 30 Eastern Time. 3-1 Lendl, fourth set. I think it's nap time.
He said, where'd my mommy go? If he's been out here as long as we have, he should be tired, huh?
I agree. We're in our 9th hour. Tenth set.
30 love.
And there have been some long sets.
This is not that easy. Lendl gets to the top of the bounce. He's inside the baseline, but he still has to have the courage to pull the trigger. And he's successful at that, so he's serving at 40-love, trying to stretch his lead to 4-1 in the fourth set, and he leads 2-1.
Game.
And he accomplishes that. Lendl leads 4-1 in the fourth.
Lendl leads 4-1. Love 15.
Lendl leads it 4-1. Love 15. Agassi serving. That's the situation. Lendl won the first 2 sets. Agassi won the third. And Ivan seems in command of the fourth.
Love 30.
Agassi in a little more trouble here now. He just obviously can't afford to get down 2 breaks.
Love 40.
3 break points now for Lendl.
Still a break point. Agassi got the good serve in.
That was long.
Game. Lendl.
And that was long. 5-1 Lendl.
Lendl
Tonight on
leads.
CBS included
Thank you. Quiet, please.
Ivan's lady friend Samantha saying, you know, 1 more and we can get home for dinner.
and feed the dogs. They have 6.
Quiet, please.
So Lendl now serving for the match at 5-1. Two hours and 52 minutes they've been on court.
Love 15. Calls.
No.
30, 15.
Two points from moving into the final for the 8th time in a row and tying Bill Tilden's record.
To face Boris Becker.
40-15.
2 match points for Lendl. Ivan's parents in the second row there.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Quiet, please.
Before this final set started, or this set started, Mary Carrillo said, I think I see a 6-1 set coming up.
Stays alive.
40-30.
This was not an easy overhead. Seeing running to his right, that is
Quiet,
a tough
please.
overhead.
Thank you.
The fact that you're still moving and moving off to your right makes it very, very difficult. He did that beautifully, but it's still match point Lendl. He'd like to register ace number 21 here and head for the locker room.
Game, set.
Lendl.
Two hours and 56 minutes it took.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow's continuing session will begin here in the stadium at 1 p.m. At which time we'll have...
Let's go down now to Tim Ryan.
Okay, Pat, so Ivan Lendl is...
Ivan Lendl, your 8th straight final, never really seemed in doubt except for that third set. What was that one all about?
Well, Andre was running me around a lot, and I have been a bit nervous before the match, so I spent a lot of energy in the first set because I haven't been playing well and I had to fight it out, and I paid for it a little bit in the third set, but I knew if I hang out there that I still should be fitter than Andre.
Becker, tomorrow.
That's tomorrow, let's not worry about it.
What, you don't feel anything about that one?
Not right now.
All right, we'll find out tomorrow. Back to Tim Ryan.
All right, Mary, well, that's it. It'll be Lendl and Becker at 4 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow, the men's championship final. Tim Ryan, for all of us, saying good night.